Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back. I've missed you guys. I haven't had a chance to make videos in a while, and I'm going to try to make up for that and get a couple knocked out this weekend. It's the 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day. Yay! And what an appropriate time to bring out this knife and showcase this maker. Someone who is an immigrant from Poland, and his name is Michael Zieba, and he is a very, very proud American now. And not only is he a proud American, he is a proud New Yorker. That's right, living out in Brooklyn. As a matter of fact, he is so proud of it, and it's a little hard to make out on this particular version, but there is the Brooklyn skyline engraved directly into the titanium frame. What we're looking at here is the G2. Now, the G2 is a really interesting little knife and not typically something that I would be into. It's very, very slim. It's very, very lightweight. And it's got a unique opening mechanism. It is sort of a flipper, but as you see, it's on the front and down on the bottom side of the pivot. So you're actually reaching around this way if you wanted to try and do that, which I don't. I just do it with my thumb. And I still have a hard time mastering this. It is one of the most unique to open knives that I've had. It's hard for me to get it in my hand and get it to flip properly. But it actually will flip, and Michael actually does it on his Instagram videos, and some of his customers have also done it. I have been able to do it with the backside of my index finger, but for right now we're just going to do that. What you're looking at here is a one-of-a-kind version of the G2, and I'll get into that in just a little bit, and that's going to have to do with the finish and why that finish is so special. Basically, Michael was born in Poland, and he lived in Poland and Germany for most of his life. He moved to the United States about 10 years ago. He was 18 years old with a whopping $300 in his pocket and a dream. And since then, he's become a U.S. citizen. He's a very proud New Yorker. He's worked as a carpenter while he awaited his citizenship, and he turned to knife making and was self-taught. Now, he makes some extraordinary kitchen knives. He actually was kind enough to send me a really fancy butcher block for Father's Day. And he sent me a liner lock version of this exact same knife. Now, what makes this particular knife unique, or this, I should start with the model itself. The model itself, the G2, was based off of a friction folder that was made by a friend of his. And he says, you know what, I want to kind of take that into a different direction and make it into a titanium frame lock, which is really different for this style of knife to get into a titanium frame lock. Really, really well made too. So that's the first major thing, is he's taken a very slim, tiny friction folder and turned it into a front flipping titanium frame lock. Pretty cool. Now, what makes this particular version unique is this finish. And when he was making this for me, he says, I do a couple of different finishes that nobody else does, but there's one in particular that I would love for you to have. And he started talking about gold. I'm like, oh man, I'm so not a gold guy. I don't have that pimpy streak in me. Although I do have a mean pimp hand, I will backhand a bitch. No, I actually won't. But I said, gold is just, not really me. He goes, well, let me tell you about why that gold is so special. A few of you may be familiar with the Academy Awards, correct? Right, the Oscars. Well, the Oscars go under a very special, secretive process when they're being made. And they're not made by just one person. One person will do part of the project, another person will do the other, like the finishing. Well, for this past year's Academy Awards, it was Michael that did the gold plating of those awards. This is the actual gold, the 24 karat gold that is used, and he's made it in the same process. He's finished it in the same way, except that he's done kind of a matte finish here and only has polished highlights in the hardware. So if you were to hold this pivot screw up next to an Oscar, and if you have one just laying around on your mantle, just ship it out to me and I'll do a comparison video. It is the exact same thing. And he says, this is the only one I'm going to make in the G2 in that gold. I want to make it for you. I think people would love to see it. I said, you know what? Absolutely. How incredibly cool is that? So this makes it the only knife in my entire collection that I actually won't carry. And the reason for that is I don't want to screw up this finish. Even just normal everyday pocket wear, or you bump into your desk or your car door or something, you scratch up your clip. This is 24 karat gold done like an Academy Award. I can't touch that up, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. So, oh yeah, see how lightning, see if you learn how to do it right, and I just can't. It is lightning fast. It's also very smooth because he is using a bearing D10. Let's talk about the knife for a second here before we get too sidetracked with the amazing finish. I'll come back to that. You have a 3 and 7/16 of an inch blade. For some reason, that's very hard to say. 8 and 1/8 inches overall. You have a ceramic detent in there. As I mentioned, the Brooklyn skyline is engraved into the frame. Now, in every other finish, in the raw titanium or any of his other finishes, you actually see the skyline very pronounced. It's very easy to see. But with this particular gold process, it kind of washes it out, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. The blade steel he's using here is ZDP 189, done at a 64 Rockwell. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good performer. It's going to be a really nice slicer. Look how thin this is. Very, very sharp. ZDP 189 takes a razor sharp edge, very fine edge, and obviously it's going to last a while before you have to strop or resharpen it. Overall, it is a fantastically built knife. Everything about this is built solid. It's built well. There is the lockup for you right there. Show you the blade centering. Now, I have carried the liner lock version a couple of times just to kind of get a feel for it. I gotta tell you, this is one of the few knives that I've ever had that you completely forget that you have it on you. It disappears. It's tiny in this dimension, it's tiny in this dimension, it's super lightweight, and you really don't even know that you have a knife on you. So if you're interested in something that could be a lightweight summer carry, maybe you're wearing shorts, you don't want anything heavy, the G2 is definitely a great way to do it. Now, he has a few dealers that he deals with. One that I will never, ever, ever give any credit to or advertising for. You can Google it and you'll see, you know, if you type in Michael Zieba G2, you'll see him pop up. But there are plenty of dealers out there now that carry his products, and he's making cooler and cooler and cooler shit too. If you go to his Instagram, and I highly suggest that you do this, go to his Instagram or go to Fort Henry Knives Instagram, because Fort Henry Knives is one of his dealers. Actually, I think that may have been his very first dealer. He has another model where he has inlaid mushroomed hollow points. So fired hollow point bullets. I don't think they're their actual bullets. I think he's actually just carving this. And they're inlaid into the frame on a nice big EDC style flipper. It is amazing. Michael is making one for me, so you will see one here on my channel. I cannot wait to get it. It is a really, really, really cool concept. He also makes other interesting things. He made that set of miniature brass knuckles, which is basically just a paperweight, and then a set of real brass knuckles, which of course, as we all know, legally is also a paperweight. But yeah, that's some pretty serious stuff right there. And again, the kitchen knives that he does, a lot of really, really cool stuff. His kitchen knives are amazing. It's something else that I really haven't gotten into yet personally, but I do sense the need for it because I go through a butcher block, a set of kitchen knives probably every 2 years. You know, they tend to rust and this and that. You know, nobody else in the house is as careful as you are with your knives. They'll leave it in a sink full of water, and of course they're going to rust and shit like that. So one of these days I'm going to invest in a nice set of kitchen knives, a good chef's knife and a few other knives to go along with it. And I think going to Michael is probably going to be my best possible option for really good quality. And how cool would it be just to, you know, your father-in-law comes over and you guys are having a cookout and you're chopping shit. He's like, "Where'd you get that knife?" "Well, it was a custom-made knife." "Custom-made kitchen knives? Are you insane?" "Ha ha ha, yes I am." I don't know, it's a completely fake conversation, but to be able to say that you've got custom-made kitchen knives, how cool is that? So there you have it, guys. There is the G2 by Michael Zieba, and yeah, it is a rocket. I really have to, and again, it's because I don't carry this knife. It sits in the display case, and I just look at it, and I pick it up, and I play with it, and go, "Oh my God, it's so cool!" And I really don't open it up all that much, so I really do need to practice with this thing. The trick is trying to get the leverage on that flipper and not have your hand in the way of the blade. So, oh, there we go. Just got to get it to full lock. There we go. So I guess if you hold it for more than 2 minutes, you'll get it figured out. So there you go. Yeah, it's pretty nifty. It's an interesting knife. Like I said, it's not usually my style, being so slim and so small, but I can tell you this right now, there are days that I don't want to carry my bigger knives, and I'm always looking for something smaller and lighter and easier to carry. And I usually I reach for my Jerry Mowens, one of my Blue Maxes or my Panther, because they are so small and lightweight. But this is an amazing option to those. Very, very cool. Great blade steel. Really, really well crafted. And it's gorgeous. Let me give you guys some more close-ups here on the finish so you can see that before we exit the video. And this thing is as flawless in execution as you can ask for. Keep getting stuff in there. Oh, that's from it tearing up my thumb trying to figure out how to open the damn thing. Sorry about that. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. And there is the Brooklyn skyline. And there you have it, folks. Thank you guys for watching, and as soon as the next model comes in, I will certainly get that video up very, very quickly and let you see maybe something that's a little bit more common to your interests, you know, more of a standard EDC style flipper, and you're going to go nuts for it. Again, go Google it, go check out his Instagram or Fort Henry Knives Instagram, and take a look at that knife, and you'll see exactly why I'm so excited and why I think this guy is going to be one of the next big things. He did get an award at Blade Show 2016. I think it was Best New Maker in the industry. How cool is that? It's nice to see him recognized so early on. And I see a lot of big things for him because he's very creative. I mean, he makes an oyster shucking knife, a folding EDC style oyster shucking knife. The guy's thinking outside of the box, and I dig that. He's not making some cookie cutter shit that everybody else is doing. So I'm excited to see what the future years will bring and the crazy things that are going to come out of his mind. Till then, I'll see you guys on the next video.